Little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right. Second and 5. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. Now they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. That's complete to DK Metcalf. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On play action, they'll throw. Looking deep downfield. That's caught at the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 25-yard line. This is Carson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by the 7th overall pick in 2018 from Wyoming. It's Josh Allen. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus? Tackling the runner for a loss.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Our first carry now for Jordan Howard. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Now let's take a look here at the Bills' offense.
In the NFL, we love to talk about bloodlines and how important they can be. And for Zay Jones, he's got a terrific one. His dad, Robert, longtime linebacker in the NFL, big time with the Dallas Cowboys. And his uncle, Jeff Blake, a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered. So a first-quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That one cost them.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Second and 13. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. They go with Howard to begin the drive. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now Howard. Now Howard stripped. He lost the football.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Watch the run! Watch the run!
Play action. Now it's Allen. It's caught. Jones. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Round 80! Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. I'm here all day. Check,
On the delay, it's Howard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 2nd and 13, Allen. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
After all he's been through, I want to talk about Eric Berry, and it was really tough for any NFL fan to see him go down the opener in New England last year. But one thing we know about him, he's resilient. This is a man who's beat cancer to come back and play at an all-pro level. And why? He can cover in the deep zones. He drops down in the box in the run game, and he can blitz the quarterback. You name it, Eric Berry can do it.
And he finds Beasley complete. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
A short game that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, about 2 out of 3. And this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over. And it's a big kick, but now we just, if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's what we have here.
Yeah, you're right. 20 years ago, we were saying run some more plays and get closer. Now we think they're definitely within range, and you're exactly right. When it comes up short, there has to be something that went wrong because they have plenty of leg.
Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's 1st down from the 42. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DM.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Let's go now. Watch 60 out low. You left me, Tree. Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Watch the pass.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad.
It's caught, block it. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They run it with Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. White now to return. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop it.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Throwing now is Allen. This is Yeldon on the dump off. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. On 3rd and long, it's Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now it's Lockett. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Now T.J. Yeldon trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Allen. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. Gets this to his running back, Jordan Howard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And the grab by Croft. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
2nd and 9 now.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he will take it across midfield and down to the 45.
Nice pick, nice pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. From the 40 now on 2nd down. Allen, that's complete to his tight end, Higbee. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line.
And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. But he will not make the first down marker. That'll be a turnover on downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. On one hand, as we look at some of his struggles with the 3 interceptions, he's got to be upset. On the other hand, they're still winning this game.
So how does he take care of the ball the rest of the game? That's what his teammates are interested in because they've picked things up for him throughout. You got to look over the defensive side, the kicking game. Those guys have made it work for him. Now his goal, not mess up anything else down the stretch.
Yeah, forget about those 3 picks. Move on. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Carson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. He'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This quarterback now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. 2nd and 10. He'll find Metcalf. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Jerry Hughes picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw here. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. They're going to look to throw. That's going to be caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Will Dissly, 27 yards. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good, and it's now 14-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the second quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. Now Allen. That's caught by Howard. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10. The Bills on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Bills send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. He juked him. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
He's going to air one out, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Allen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards that time, and a Bills first down. Allen now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. The Bills on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now Allen. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Ooh, with a juke. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Big Shaq Lawson gets the sack there.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll set up a throw. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the first down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now out come the Bills. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball, but he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They'll drop to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side, and that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing right on his own 5-yard line. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. On the return, it's White. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To the air, Allen, and the throw there going to be incomplete. It was Trey Flowers that time who got a hand in and broke it up.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Bills send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Let's go, baby.
Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide, they want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 3. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. You think you're going into halftime with a good-sized lead. Not so fast. That pick 6 really changes the complexion. Probably also changes the halftime speech.
No doubt about it. Instead of going in relaxed, you're probably a little more uptight right now. Probably a little bit angry. Let's see if they can get their focus back.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And that game tied 21-all in the second quarter. A lot of offense there. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they couldn't get the job done as they fall to the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And for the moment, they trail the visiting Saints in that one. The Saints trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They go play action here on first down. Caught by Jones. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a pickup of 17 on that one and a Bills first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, it's Allen. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. On second down, it's Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's complete to Croft. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 28.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. What's the run? They're running.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. 2nd and 5 now. Allen, and he finds Beasley, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. So the shotgun snap to Allen. It's caught. Jones. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Allen now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He finds his target, John Brown. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing now is Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Now pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Allen off the play fake. Jones has it. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. This complete to Lockett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll find Metcalf. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Allen to throw it. And this one caught by Beasley. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find a good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Seahawks capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The extra point now coming from Myers. It's good, and it's 21-10. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.